cash has been found, then that's very serious. And I think he should resign if unaccounted cash has in fact been found in his residence. If he does not resign, it is reported that the Chief Justice of India has conducted an internal inquiry. That is what the newspapers have reported.
Yes. If in fact there is unaccounted cash, like you are saying, that has been found at his house, Justice Banerjee, and it is serious, what is the action that the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court should be taking, who is submitting an inquiry report to the Collegium? And what action should the Collegium now be taking, ma'am?
You know, a judge of a High Court can only be removed in the manner provided in the Constitution. Now, Article 217 provides that a judge of a High Court may be removed from his office by the President in the manner provided in Clause 4 of Article 124 for the removal of a judge of the Supreme Court. And Article 124, Clause 4 provides that a judge of the Supreme Court shall not be removed from office except by an order of the President passed after an address by each House of Parliament, supported by a majority of the total membership of that House, and by a majority of not less than 2/3 of the members of the House present and voting. After that, the motion has to be presented to the President in the same session for removal on the ground of misbehavior or incapacity, proved in case of proved misbehavior or incapacity. So, in the circumstances, depending on the report of the Chief Justice of the High Court, if it is adverse to the judge concerned, the Chief Justice of India may institute an internal inquiry. And internal inquiry is usually held as per a full court resolution of the Supreme Court itself, taken way back in the 90s. After the internal inquiry, in which the judge concerned has to be given an opportunity of hearing, the inquiry committee, which is to be constituted of 2 Chief Justices and 1 judge of a High Court other than the High Court, to which the judge concerned belongs. The internal inquiry may recommend that the judge should resign, or if the offense is not serious, that does not apply in this case, because if so much of cash has been found as has been reported, then action has to be serious. So it may even recommend impeachment and submit a report to the Chief Justice of India. The Chief Justice of India accordingly may advise the judge concerned to resign, and if he doesn't resign, it may send a report to the appropriate government to initiate proceedings for impeachment.
This is extremely serious, Justice Banerjee, and the big question that actually arises here has to be seen is, Justice Banerjee, in this case, the question that arises is, there is unaccounted cash that has been found. The Allahabad High Court says transferring him back to us is like considering us to be a trash bin. These are very serious words coming from the Allahabad Bar Association, ma'am. Very seriously, this is also injuring the reputation of the judiciary, eroding the faith of the people in the judiciary and how this case is being handled. If, in fact, in this case, cash has been recovered, they say the unanimous decision of the Collegium to have transferred him was not enough. What do you feel should have been done, Justice Banerjee?
The Chief Justice of the concerned High Court might have taken away business from him. He has been sent back to his parent High Court, but I don't think transfer is really called for in a serious case like this.
What should have been done then, Justice Banerjee?
His business should be taken away immediately if that has not already been done. And after that, it is reported that the Chief Justice has advised him to resign.
Yes.
He does not resign. It is also reported that an internal inquiry is contemplated. And there is not much that the Chief Justice of India can really do, or the Collegium can do, because I pointed out the provisions.
Yes.
Judge of a High Court can only be removed. Either he resigns or he can be removed in the manner provided in 124 Clause 4 of the Constitution of India. And that clause specifically provides that a judge of the Supreme Court shall not be removed from his office except by an order of the President, passed after address by each House of Parliament, supported by a majority of the total membership of that House, and by a majority of not less than 2/3 of the members of the House present and voting, and has been presented to the President in the same session for such removal on the ground of proved misbehavior or incapacity. So this is the procedure for removal. So the Chief Justice of India can at best institute an inquiry as per the full court resolution which had been taken by the Supreme Court of India way back in the 90s to inquire into the allegations, giving the judge concerned a hearing. And then...
Yes, and Justice Banerjee, I wanted to come to the facts of this case, ma'am. And you said the Collegium, the one question I wanted to understand, in case the report has been submitted to the Collegium and the report that has come out is that a unanimous decision was taken by the Collegium to transfer him, would the transfer then be thought of as fine on the basis of unaccounted cash having been found at his residence, ma'am?
Now, what decision the Collegium has taken, I am not privy to that decision. So how can I know what transpired at the Collegium meeting? It is not possible for me to comment on what transpired at the Collegium meeting because I was not part of that Collegium. I don't have any personal knowledge of what happened in the meeting. So I can tell you about the law and I can tell you about the situation as it is reported. So yes, I can say,
a fine,
and he should be impeached if this is correct, and if he doesn't resign. Yes.
And if he doesn't resign, yes. And ma'am, a final question to you. Suppose this is found correct and there was unaccounted cash, would a transfer would be enough? Would a transfer to a parent court be enough?
if it is found that cash was found in his residence, then I don't think it will stop at transfer.
Yes,
because already it is, as per your newspaper reports, I don't know whether it is reported by your newspaper or some other paper, but I have read that the Chief Justice of India has already advised the judge concerned to resign and is also contemplating an internal inquiry.
That's right.
And in the meanwhile, as you kept me waiting, I think you were talking about a new twist to the case. And there are some reports to the effect that the Director of Fire Services has denied that.
He's actually changed his statement, ma'am. I'll just get you up. I'll tell you what happened. Yesterday, the fire chief had stated that there was no cash found. Today, he is saying that he did not make a statement that no cash was found. So he has twisted his statement again and said that he not stated that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So lots of things need to be investigated in this, ma'am. But the things that are coming forward with this talk with you is that first, if the charges against some are extremely serious, there needs to be an inquiry. If in fact they are found true, then the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court should ensure that he abstains from work. There needs to be an inquiry, and after which, of course, if he chooses not to resign, there should be an impeachment that should be moved.
Hello?
Yes, all right. Justice Indira Banerjee giving us those details. Thank you, ma'am, for spending time with us and explaining the law on this for us. Very critical because everyone is trying to really understand how from here the Delhi High Court judge who's under the lens now is going to act. Thank you, Justice Banerjee, for being with us.
All right. Justice Banerjee there speaking to Republic, to Executive Editor Rhythm Bhardwaj, where she said that if cash was found, then transfer is certainly not enough. Not just this, Justice Banerjee had also said that Delhi High Court should have taken business away from Justice Yashwant Varma, and a mere transfer to his parent court, that is the Allahabad High Court, is not enough, that his business should have been taken away. Justice Banerjee has also gone ahead to say that the CJI should have instituted an internal inquiry, and the charges against Yashwant Varma are very, very serious. Justice Banerjee has also gone ahead to say that Varma will be given a chance to be heard in the internal inquiry, and that if cash was found, then it is serious, and that the CJI should be given report. The CJI is then given a report on who will... the CJI will then have a say on who will resign, and if not resign, then impeach. So very strong words there coming in from Justice Indira Banerjee, who spoke to our Executive Editor Rhythm Bhardwaj. Moving on to the other stories that we're tracking now, a shocking case of alleged police brutality in Patiala has sparked widespread outrage. Jaswinder Kaur Bagga, wife of Colonel Pushpinder Singh Bath, had claimed her husband was assaulted by Punjab police personnel despite multiple attempts to seek justice. The says key police officers were being protected. Now here's more for the fight for accountability.
Jaswinder Kaur Bath, the wife of Colonel Pushpinder Singh Bath, who was allegedly assaulted by Punjab police personnel in Patiala, has spoken out about her efforts to seek justice. She detailed her visit to meet the DGP Gaurav Yadav, where she waited for an hour and a half, but he left without meeting them. Despite his position as an army officer's son, he did not engage with her. Jaswinder expressed her frustration, especially after her son stated that he no longer wanted to stay in the country.
Bhagwan Manji, who's CM, we had made call to him at night. We reported the matter to his sister also. I tried to call, nobody picked. His OSD, Tilosab, sent all the photos, everything, but nobody approached us till today.
Seeking justice, she then went to meet the governor, who was visibly moved by the brutality. The governor, after seeing pictures and hearing her account, immediately called the DGP and demanded the registration of an FIR with all the relevant names.
We went to Governor Saab, we gave the whole story. You'll not believe Governor Saab had tears in his eyes when I was speaking to him. उनकी आँख में आंसू आ गए जब मैंने उनको फोटोज दिखाई कि इस तरीके से ब्रूटली मारा गया.
Following this, SSP Nanak Singh confirmed the formation of magisterial inquiry into the incident, but stated that the FIR could not be altered. She also revealed an unsettling conversation with the police inspector, who told her that certain police personnel involved in the assault could not be named in the FIR due to their recognition as encounter specialist by the DIG and their imminent promotions.
Delhi PWD Minister Parvesh Varma said that he ordered the transfer of an official who seemed drunk during the inspection of Srinagar Assembly constituency. During the inspection of Srinagar Assembly constituency, Varma directed the officials to use the required number of cleaning machines to clean all the sewer lines before the monsoon.
सारे ढक्कन को चेंज करने के लिए बोला है, सारी गलियों को दोबारा बनाने के लिए बोला है. और एक अधिकारी आज भी हमने देखा कि थोड़ा सा रात को हो सकता है ड्रिंक करते होंगे, तो उनके मुंह से स्मेल आ रही थी. मैंने उनको ट्रांसफ़र करने के लिए बोला है. हम यही अधिकारियों से काम कराना चाहते हैं. मेरे को अच्छा नहीं लगता कि अधिकारियों के ऊपर में कोई भी कार्रवाई हो, मगर अधिकारी काम करने की आदत डाल लें तो अच्छा रहेगा.
14 people got injured in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch after their minibus met with an accident. Soon after the incident, they were rushed to the district hospital in Poonch for treatment. Fire broke out at a footwear showroom in Delhi's Shaheen Bagh market. 8 fire tenders have been rushed to the spot as police continues to determine the reason behind the fire. Firefighting operations remain underway. Colonel Pushpendra Singh Bath was allegedly assaulted by Punjab police personnel in Patiala. Wife of Colonel Pushpendra Singh Bath informed that she has lodged an FIR against the matter and will fight for the justice without any support that is needed.
जी कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी नहीं, संस्था बनाने की लोड़ नहीं. मेरे नाल सारी दुनिया खड़ी है. मैं कल्ली खड़ी होके लड़ूंगी, हर एक बंदे दे नाल जाऊंगी, उन्हां नूं इंसाफ दिलाऊंगी और ताड़ा मीडिया दा धन्यवाद करूंगी जदों तुसीं आके फिर मेरे नाल खड़े होगे, क्योंकि असीं सारे एक पंजाब दे नागरिक हां, जिहड़े नागरिकां नूं सानूं एक जस्टिस दिवाना जरूरी है.
In a big win against illegal Bangladeshi, South Delhi police took out an operation and busted 8 Indian facilitators who helped the police busted the entire racket of Indians who were facilitating the illegal Bangladeshis. 23 voter ID cards and 19 PAN cards as well as other documents were seized in the major operation.
दिल्ली पुलिस को एक बड़ी कामयाबी मिली है, जिसमें हमने जो इलीगल बांग्लादेशियों के खिलाफ मुहिम छेड़ी हुई थी, उसमें आगे हमने जो इंडियन फैसिलिटेटर्स हैं जिन्होंने उनकी मदद करी आने में, यहाँ पे रुकने में, नौकरी करने में, उनके डॉक्यूमेंट्स बनाने में, उनको पैसे वापस भिजवाने में, इन सबको हमने बस्ट किया है. इसमें हमने टोटल 8 इंडियंस अरेस्ट करे हैं.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said that 2 memorandums of understandings worth rupees 700 crore have been signed to establish the PM Mitra Park at the Lucknow-Hardoi border. The 2 MOUs worth rupees 700 crore will follow the Prime Minister's 5F vision: farm to fiber, fiber to factory, factory to fashion and fashion to foreign. The controversy surrounding Justice Yashwant Varma has sparked a wave of questions and concerns, with former Attorney General of India and senior lawyer Mukul Rohatgi stepping forward to demand clarity. Rohatgi urged the Supreme Court to issue a proper bulletin to address the growing uncertainty and speculation surrounding the matter. According to him, the lack of transparency has left critical unanswered questions, fueling public doubt. The Aam Aadmi Party staged a protest against the BJP-led Delhi government over the allegation of non-implementation of Mahila Samman Yojana, which aims to provide financial support of Rs 2,500 every month to eligible women. Aam Aadmi Party alleged that even the registration process for the scheme has not started yet and called BJP's promise a jumla. Union Minister and BJP President JP Nadda launched the Mahila Samriddhi Yojana, a direct cash transfer scheme for Delhi's women, on March 8th.
प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने चुनाव से पहले दिल्ली की महिलाओं को वादा किया था कि 8 मार्च को उनके खाते में 2,500 रुपये आएंगे, लेकिन हम आप देख सकते हैं कि उनके खाते में 2,500 रुपये नहीं आए। तो ये जुमला था, इसलिए मोदी जी के जुमले के बैंक का ही वादा हुआ था, वरना 8 मार्च आई, 8 मार्च गई, 2,500 रुपये तो छोड़िए, अभी तक स्कीम का रजिस्ट्रेशन भी शुरू नहीं हुआ।
Uttar Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Prasad Maurya attacked the Congress-led Karnataka government for passing 4% Muslim reservation quota bill in Karnataka Assembly. He claimed that Congress will pay for the cheap trick it pulled to garner the Muslim vote bank in Karnataka. Maurya also said that the Congress has always been against the backward classes. And it's time for us to slip into a short break, but after the break, we'll get you the details of the big statement by the Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis warning the rioters of Nagpur.
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
I'm thrilled to announce that at my direction, the United States Air Force is moving forward with the world's first 6th generation fighter jet. Number 6, 6th generation. Nothing in the world comes even close to it, and it'll be known as the F-47. I'm thrilled to announce that at my direction, the United States Air Force is moving forward with the world's first 6th generation fighter jet. Number 6, 6th generation. Nothing in the world comes even close to it, and it'll be known as the F-47. The generals picked a title, and it's a beautiful number, F-47. It's something the likes of which nobody has seen before in terms of all of the attributes of a fighter jet. There's never been anything even close to it, from speed to maneuverability to what it can have to payload. And this has been in the works for a long period of time. After a rigorous and thorough competition between some of America's top aerospace companies, the Air Force is going to be awarding the contract for the next generation.
So 10 crore rupees allegedly found in a Delhi High Court judge's home. That's the richest and most influential High Court. It also speaks of the stink of corruption, which nobody wants to talk about. Everybody whispers about it. It is a known fact that there's a lot of corruption in the judiciary, in the highest appellate courts.
Allegations which one hears in the last few years.
Yeah.
When I read a judgment, I know this is a good judgment, I know this is a bad judgment. And I know this judgment is more than just bad. Yes, there is a serious problem. Everybody knows it. We all talk about it in cocktail parties and in secret whispers when we meet in seminars, and nobody does anything about it.
What was once dismissed as a closed chapter is now this week erupting with fresh force, reigniting explosive questions about the mysterious death of Sushant Singh Rajput's celebrity manager Disha Salyan. Through this week, this case of Disha Salyan's murder has roared back into the national spotlight with a seismic mega breakthrough. Today, the Bombay High Court registry has formally accepted the petition to arrest Aditya Thackeray and question Riya Chakrabarti, a petition filed by Disha Salyan's father, 68-year-old Satish Salyan, clearing all objections. This game-changing development should send shockwaves.
Now, in a show of opposition unity, the Chief Ministers of Kerala, Telangana and Punjab, Pinarayi Vijayan, Revant Reddy and Bhagwat Mann, along with Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar and senior representatives of the Biju Janata Dal and Bharat Rashtra Samiti will attend the first Joint Action Committee meeting on fair delimitation. In fact, the meeting has been ended. Now, the meeting was held in Chennai on the leadership of Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. However, it was the TMC that was also invited, but they decided to skip the meeting. The BJP, meanwhile, is opposing the move and have staged a massive protest. Listen into reactions coming in.
Shamelessly, Tamil Nadu CM has invited D.K. Shivakumar ji here for a discussion on a topic which has got no rational basis. So today's black flag protest is against the DMK government and Mr. M.K. Stalin for sacrificing Tamil Nadu's interest and doing this kind of drama in Chennai.
The number of MPs will get suppressed.
Ma'am, how will they go up, madam? When they say no state will gain, no state will lose, which means all state in the current pro rata, the same ratio is going to be maintained. When they say 7.17 for Tamil Nadu, the current ratio of Uttar Pradesh 80 seats to 543, the same ratio is going to be maintained. For Karnataka 28 out of 543. That is very clear as a crystal. That is what the word pro rata means. How can pro rata be South India pro rata, North India non pro rata? How can it be? When clearly Amit Shah ji said across India for all states it will be pro rata. Then it is only illogical of DMK to say no, pro rata for us but not for others. That is simply illogical. They just want to make an issue. Yesterday in Parliament also, they were making this t-shirt and entering the Parliament, where the Speaker was forced to send them out like a teacher sending schoolboys away and schoolgirls away. Go and get dressed properly. The same drama they are trying to do it in Chennai.
Rahul Gandhi cannot boldly say anything about this delimitation because he has to go and face the people from other states also. So, Stalin is making their partners embarrassed by this. So they also should know. We are, all the state brothers, citizens are living as brothers and sisters. As our Honorable Amit Shah ji yesterday told, Tamil Nadu brothers and sisters are working in Gujarat, in Maharashtra. And other state leaders, brothers and sisters are working in Tamil Nadu. Why they want to spoil this integration? Why they want to split the country in the name of language, divide the country in the name of language. So yesterday I mentioned in my Twitter, this meeting is to hide and this meeting is to divide and hide.
As I said you that we have joined on the critical moment of the Indian history, the very foundation of democracy and federalism, which is under threat. So a good beginning has been started and a fair delimitation joint action committee has been formed. Today, some suggestions have come that we should take it a office has to be set up on this issue, on the Delhi also. And many leaders have invited this committee also in the different part of the country to participate. I am very happy that the Kerala Chief Minister, Telangana Chief Minister, Punjab Chief Minister also participated with various political parties. And on behalf of the Congress Party and from my government, being a Deputy Chief Minister and the President of the political Congress Party, myself, Telangana Party President and Kerala Party President of the Congress Party, we represented here on the southern states. We discussed our party high command also gave us a direction that we have to protect our interests. So Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and other states of the southern states, we contribute for the immense growth on not only politically.
Different leaders from across the parties have supported this, and today they have participated in the meeting convened by our Chief Minister, and they've all come together on one single platform expressing their solidarity and also expressing their concern about the very important issue of delimitation raised by the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. And together in one voice, we stand together to fight for fair delimitation. And I'd like to read the resolution which has been passed today. The JAC expressed its deep concern on the lack of transparency and clarity in the impeding delimitation exercise without any consultation with the various stakeholders. The JAC expressed its appreciation for the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu for taking up this initiative to safeguard the political and economic future of performing states in India. Based on the various points and scenarios put forth by the representatives during the discussion, the JAC unanimously resolved that any delimitation exercise carried out by the Union government to improve the content or character of our democracy should be carried out transparently, enabling political parties of all states, state governments and other stakeholders to deliberate, discuss and contribute.
India has just completed 75 years of existence. Our national leadership should ideally strive to heal old wounds, not create new ones, not unnecessarily create ruptures in this Indian polity, which is already very diverse, very heterogeneous. As a renowned scholar and statesman once said, the federal structure of India must ensure that no state, however small or large, feels neglected in governments. You could be Manipur, you could be Uttar Pradesh, you should not feel neglected or you should not feel left out. That's exactly what we are demanding. And once again, I'd like to repeat, if India truly has to become a superpower by 2047, the order of the day is cooperative federalism, not coercive federalism.
Our states are now set to be punished precisely for our sincere implementation of the National Population Policy of 1976. When a state faithfully implements a nationally recognized policy, it deserves special consideration for that very reason. Not only is this consideration being denied, but we are even being penalized for fulfilling our duty to the nation. This is the crux of the current issue.
BJP is implementing a policy of demographic penalty. Since 1971, when India decided to adopt family planning as a national priority, South India has done very well, but big states in North India have failed. We become spectacular South. We cannot accept this proposed delimitation because of it will politically limit us. It will punish us for being performing states. We have to stop BJP for implementing any unfair delimitation. South will not accept population-based delimitation. If BJP does delimitation on population, South India will lose political voice. North will make us secondary citizens. Everyone here agrees we will not accept delimitation based on the population.
This week on Get Me Right, the ghost of Aurangzeb continues to haunt communal relations in the country. What's it about the Mughal emperor which inflamed such passions on both sides of the Hindu-Muslim divide? Also, resurrection of a 45-year-old anti-convergence law has sunrise state of Arunachal in political and social convergence. Is implementation of the Arunachal Pradesh Freedom of Religion Act a case of too little, too late? We discuss. Join me this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, only on Republic TV.
It is extremely unfortunate that the action of the Supreme Court of India has come under scrutiny. But that's the reality we must accept. The actions of India's highest court, the Supreme Court of India and the Supreme Court of India's Collegium have come under national and public scrutiny. Something's wrong. And how could it not come under scrutiny? And why should it not come under scrutiny when the fact is that the Supreme Court has not acted effectively enough till date on a massive cash scam involving a very senior judge. If it is true that 10 or 15 or more crores in cash was found burning in the judge's house, and that cash was unaccounted for, and if this case goes back to the 14th of this month, that is almost a week back, then why on earth has the Supreme Court of India done nothing in the case so far? Done absolutely nothing. Did the CJI make a mistake? Did the Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna, make a mistake in the way he handled this?
The Collegium made a mistake. Oh, absolutely. It's wrong on so many levels. As I'm saying, this decision is wrong on so many levels. It's a mistake for the way it has been approached. It's a mistake to transfer a judge merely on allegations like this. Judicial work has to be withdrawn. And finally, it's a mistake to cast this aspersion on Allahabad High Court. Arnab, when you talk of opacity, the system is such it has to be kept opaque, and that's why the system is so wrong. There is a precedent which could have been followed. If you remember, there used to be a judge called Justice Ramaswamy, in the Supreme Court, and against whom allegations were made that in his previous avatar, when he was Chief Justice of the Punjab and Haryana High Court, he had broken certain rules in ordering furnishing, etc., for his official home at the taxpayer's cost. There was no allegation that he had taken cash from somebody. The allegation was he had broken all the rules of the book and gone beyond what is permissible in decorating his official home. Chief Justice Mukherjee, God bless his soul, one of the finest repositories of judicial virtue, came into open court, not closed court, open court with a long written speech saying what he had heard, and closed by saying he is withdrawing all judicial work from Justice Ramaswamy till an inquiry is complete, and he set up an inquiry committee of 3 judges. To inquire into the allegations. They found against Justice Ramaswamy. The matter was then taken by way of an impeachment motion in Parliament. The rest, what followed, only established why Parliament cannot be trusted with these kind of decisions, because they get polarized on political lines. We had that instant. So the one procedure was at least to recall all judicial work from these.
So for the immediate, why allow the Supreme Court Collegium to retrace its steps by saying we'll have an inquiry? Why not?
I've said it in so many words, Arnab.
So they can't...
Had enough to make a mistake, it is worse to double down on a mistake.
So then the only option is an impeachment process under the present system, sir?
I have no doubt in my mind if the independent inquiry holds him guilty, you will not need any further process.
Correct. I feel that the suggestion of Mr. Salve should be taken by the Supreme Court. Double jeopardy should not happen. He's also said when you make a mistake a first time, you should not double down on it. That's as clearly as someone can speak.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
PM and you watch you live and breaking with me, Yashwant. And ladies and gentlemen, a tough message coming in from Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, his first visit to Nagpur. All this and much more in this edition, but first let's take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour.
इतना नुकसान दंगइयों ने किया है, इसका पूरा हिसाब निकाला जाएगा और ये पूरा नुकसान उनसे वसूल किया जाएगा। वो नुकसान के पैसे नहीं भरते हैं तो उनकी प्रॉपर्टी को बेचकर ये नुकसान भरपाई की जाएगी।
Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis in Nagpur for the first time since the violent riots and stone pelting, says rioters will have to pay for the damage.
हमारी मुस्लिम भाई बहनों को जो भी आंखें दिखाएगा, दो गुटों में झगड़ा लगाकर अमन शांति को भंग करेगा, तो वो कोई भी हो, उसे किसी भी कीमत पर बख्शा नहीं जाएगा।
Ajit Pawar in the Iftar party issues a warning against those who intimidate Muslims after Nagpur violence.
Shamelessly, Tamil Nadu CM has invited DK Shivakumarji here for a discussion on a topic which has got no rational basis. So today's black flag protest is against the DMK government and Mr. MK Stalin for sacrificing Tamil Nadu's interest and doing this kind of drama in Chennai.
BJP stages black flag protests in Chennai against MK Stalin's meet, calls it a drama. SC Collegium has proposed the transfer of a Delhi High Court Judge Justice Yashwant Varma to the Allahabad High Court following a report about recovery of cash during a fire at his New Delhi residence. Pakistan security forces arrest Mehrang Baloch, the central leader of the Baloch Solidarity Committee, along with his other associates. Well, this is his first visit after violence broke out in Nagpur. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has now put out a stern message, says that those who are responsible for the violence in the city of Nagpur will have to pay for the damages. In fact, he says that the government will put in process a system by which those who were responsible for the violence in Nagpur will be identified, their properties will be sold, and ensure that justice is meted out. Listen in to what the Chief Minister had to say.
आज जो नागपुर में दंगइयों ने जिस प्रकार से दंगा किया, उसके बारे में एक वरिष्ठ स्तर की बैठक मैंने की है। हमारे सहयोगी मंत्री बावनकुळे जी भी उसमें उपस्थित थे। किस प्रकार की घटनाएं हुई, उन घटनाओं में अगर कोई लैप्सेस थे तो वो क्या थे, उन घटनाओं को किस प्रकार से रिस्पॉन्ड किया गया और घटनाओं के बाद अभी तक क्या कार्रवाई की गई, इसकी पूरी जानकारी मैंने प्राप्त की है। मेरे अपने कुछ ऑब्जर्वेशंस उस संदर्भ में थे, वो भी मैंने पुलिस आयुक्त और जो वरिष्ठ अधिकारी थे उन सबके सामने रखे हैं। मूल रूप से ये घटना जिस दिन घटी उस दिन सुबह औरंगजेब की एक प्रतीकात्मक कब्र जलाई गई और उसको जलाने के बाद कुछ लोगों ने उसके बारे में कंप्लेंट भी की। पुलिस ने नियम के अनुसार उस कंप्लेंट को एंटरटेन भी किया, लेकिन बाद में कुछ लोगों ने सोशल मीडिया का उपयोग करते हुए पॉडकास्ट और पोस्ट के माध्यम से ये औरंगजेब की प्रतीकात्मक कब्र नहीं जलाई गई तो इस पर दरगाह की चादर लगाई थी और उसमें कुरान की आयतें लिखी हुई थी, उसको जलाया गया। इस प्रकार का एक झूठा प्रचार किया और लोगों की भावनाओं को भड़काने का काम किया। शाम के समय नागपुर के कुछ इलाकों में लोग जमा हुए और दंगइयों ने पत्थरबाजी की, गाड़ियों को तोड़ा, दुकानों पर हमला किया और बड़े पैमाने पर नुकसान करने का काम किया। पुलिस ने भी अच्छी कार्रवाई की। 4, साढ़े 4, 5 घंटे में पुलिस ने इस पर पूरा काबू लाया। उसके लिए आंसू गैस के गोले छोड़ने की बात हो या अलग अलग प्रकार से जो कार्रवाई करनी पड़ती है वो सारी कार्रवाई पुलिस ने की, जिसके कारण इसको काबू में लाया गया। इसमें बड़े पैमाने पर पुलिस घायल हुई। पुलिस के हमारे डीसीपी लेवल के 3 लोग और कुल मिलाकर 33 पुलिस के लोग और कुछ सिविलियंस और सारे कुल मिलाकर 40 लोग इस प्रकार से इसमें घायल हुए। उसके बाद पुलिस ने इन इलाकों में कर्फ्यू भी लगाया। अभी उस दिन के बाद इन इलाकों में कोई घटना नहीं घटी है, शांति है। लेकिन जो सीसीटीवी फुटेजेस हमारे पास उपलब्ध थे, अलग अलग लोगों ने वीडियोस दिए थे, उन वीडियोस को भी एनालाइज किया गया। पत्रकारों ने भी पुलिस के पास कुछ वीडियोस दिए, उसको भी एनालाइज करने के बाद जो दंगई है उनकी पहचान कर ली गई है। 104 लोगों को अभी तक पहचान कर पकड़ा गया है, जिसमें 92 लोगों को अरेस्ट किया है। 12-18 साल के अंदर के विधि संघर्षित बालक है, उनको उस कानून के तहत उन पर कार्रवाई की गई है।
Joining me on this broadcast is my colleague Jatin, who's joining us from Nagpur. Jatin, ये बताइए, मास्टरमाइंड को लेकर ये कहा जा रहा था कि पॉलिटिकल कनेक्शंस निकल कर आ रहे थे और ये भी कहा जा रहा था कि जिस तरह से भड़काने की कोशिश की गई थी, पूरे मोडस ऑपरेंडाई को लेकर पुलिस की क्या जानकारी है?
बिल्कुल, देखिए, माइनॉरिटी डेमोक्रेटिक पार्टी से जुड़ा हुआ है फहीम को लेकर जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन अभी तक क्लियर हुई है उसमें बहुत क्लियर है कि उसने कुछ ऐसे पोस्ट सोशल मीडिया पे डाले, हिंसा से पहले डाले, जिससे लोगों की भीड़ इकट्ठी हुई। फहीम जब पोस्ट डाल रहा था तो उसकी मौजूदगी इसी शिवाजी चौक पर थी। ये वही शिवाजी चौक है जहां से ये पूरी हिंसा शुरू होती है। वीएचपी बजरंग दल का प्रोटेस्ट यहीं पर चल रहा था, लेकिन सीसीटीवी जो हमारे पास हम अपने दर्शकों को दिखा रहे हैं उसमें साफ तौर पर है कि 4 बजे के आसपास फहीम अपने समर्थकों के साथ 60 से 70 इसी चौराहे पर मौजूद था और यहीं से उसने वीडियो एडिट करके सोशल मीडिया पे पोस्ट करने शुरू किए। डीसीपी साइबर सेल ने हमसे बात करते हुए कंफर्म किया कि वो सारे फेक वीडियो थे। लोगों को उकसाया गया, बताया गया कि वो खतरे में है, मुसलमान डर के माहौल में है और यही कारण है कि देखते ही देखते शाम को 7, साढ़े 7 बजे तक जो लोगों की संख्या 60 से 70 थी वो 600 से 700 हो जाती है और भीड़ इस कदर हो जाती है, उग्र भीड़ हो जाती है और उसके बाद आगजनी, तोड़फोड़ की तस्वीर तस्वीरें सभी ने देखी तो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का लिंक किसी तरीके से सामने आया। लेकिन उसी पार्टी के फहीम के एक और साथी को आज गिरफ्तार कर लिया गया, हामिद इंजीनियर उसका नाम है। हामिद इंजीनियर इस लिहाज से महत्वपूर्ण है, पोस्ट उसने भी डाले लेकिन वो पार्टी के लिए पैसों का अरेंज करता था, यानी कि फाइनेंशियल जो पार्टी में हेल्प दी जाती है वो हामिद के जरिए दी जाती है। अब सवाल ये खड़ा होता है कि क्या इस दंगे को भड़काने के लिए भी फाइनेंशियल हेल्प की गई, और यही कारण है कि पुलिस अब इस एंगल पर भी जांच कर रही है। हामिद को आज कोर्ट में पेश किया जाएगा, उसकी कस्टडी मांगी जाएगी और उसके बाद फाइनेंशियल हेल्प और वो किसके कहने पर पोस्ट कर रहा था, किन ग्रुप्स में पोस्ट कर रहा था, किस सोशल मीडिया पेज का वो इस्तेमाल कर रहा था, वो तमाम ऐसी बातें हैं जो कि जांच अब आगे की जाएगी। दूसरी तरफ आप ये तस्वीर देखिए, मोबाइल सर्विलांस वैन यहाँ पर डिप्लॉय की गई है, कर्फ्यू अभी भी यहाँ पर लगा हुआ है। अब से 15 से 20 मिनट पहले कमिश्नर नागपुर खुद यहाँ पर पहुंचे थे, उन्होंने पूरे सिचुएशन का जायजा लिया। आज शाम को एक बैठक होने वाली है, उस बैठक में ये तय किया जाएगा कि क्या कर्फ्यू में कुछ और ढील दी जाए, इसको लेकर डिटेल रिपोर्ट तैयार की जा रही है। लेकिन मोबाइल सर्विलांस वैन के जरिए आसपास के इलाके में जो भी नेटवर्क गतिविधि हो रही है, जो भी पोस्ट डाले जाते हैं उस पर निगरानी रखी जा रही है। आप ये सुनकर हैरान रहेंगे कि 2 दिन पहले तक जो पोस्ट है वो 230 ऐसे पोस्ट है जो लगातार अफवाह फैला रहे थे हिंसा के बाद भी, उनको रोका जा रहा है। 58 ऐसे अकाउंट है जो कि चिन्हित कर दिए गए हैं जिन्होंने हिंसा भड़काने में काफी अहम रोल किया। हालांकि उन्होंने अपने पोस्ट डिलीट भी किए, लेकिन उस पोस्ट को रिट्रीव करके उनके खिलाफ भी को एक्यूज बनाने की तैयारी नागपुर पुलिस की है। और यही कारण है कि कोई भी शख्स जिसने अफवाह फैलाने की कोशिश की, सोशल मीडिया के माध्यम से अफवाह फैलाने की कोशिश की, अपने अकाउंट्स का या किसी दूसरे अकाउंट को बनाकर
बाबतीत दाखव, कोणात कानफडत मारलेलं तरी ऐकिवात आहे का आतापर्यंत एवढ्या वर्षात? हा भाषण करू शकतो, वकील असल्यामुळे खोटं नाटक तर तुझं पेशाच आहे। जसं तुम्ही जशा बातम्या देता ना तसं तो एक पेशा आहे, त्याने उगाच बड्या मारू नये, तुला काय करायचे कर, पण तुला काय जमणार नाही।
I received a call and I was told that there is more information on the Disha Salyan case.
कोण वाद? मासा नीट बोला ना। कोण? अरे एक पाहू शकत, तुला 56 पाहतो। ती चित्रा वागलात, तिला पूर्ण उर, कधी तुला पूर्ण उरेल ते बघू, पाहतो मी। आणि चित्रा वाघच्या मागे ती एकटी नाहीये, पूर्ण बीजेपी आहे, नारायण राणेपणा। ये तुझं कुठे येतो सांग, मैदान सांग, ठिकाण सांग, चला। कोण नाही आलं तर मी तरी हजर होईल। कधी येतोस? आता कोण नाही राहिले त्या शिवसेनेचा चिवचिव करतोय, कोण राहिले हो त्याच्यात? त्यामुळे आता यांनी तोंड बंद करावं आणि आता घरी बसावं। तू महाराजांना बघ जर असं महाराज,
तुम्ही देखील स्वतः मुख्यमंत्री राहिला आहात, खरं तरी घटना घडल्यावर 4-5 वर्ष उलटत आहे आणि त्यावेळी ज्यावेळी तुम्ही पूर्ण फॉलोअप घेत होता, तुम्ही देखील सगळ्या तपासाला यामध्ये घेतलं होतं, त्यावेळी संबंधित ज्यांनी आता याचिका केली आहे, मुलीचे वडील, त्यांनी असं म्हटलं की आमच्यावर दबाव, त्यावेळी तुमचा दबाव आहे असं म्हणत होता। आता ते म्हणतायत की ठाकरे गटाचा त्यावेळी दबाव होता, एक वडील म्हणून जी याचिका आता स्वीकारली गेली आहे, ह्या 4-5 वर्षापर्यंत संबंधित प्रकरण तुम्ही कसं बघता? फक्त व्यक्ती म्हणून नाही तर एकंदरीत संपूर्ण प्रकरण आता ऍडमिट झालं।
एक तर सांगू, तुम्ही वडील दिशा सतीश सालियन ना, बरोबर, त्यांचं ते अपील पूर्ण वाचलं का हो? नाही वाचलं, त्यात माझा काही संबंध नाही। दबाव होता,
क्लियर
दबाव कोणावर होता, कोण घरी पेडणेकर ताई जायच्या।
It is clear that Kishori Pednekar, Mumbai mayor, had put pressure on the family.
दबाव आणावा अशी त्यांची परिस्थिती नव्हती, दुःखात होते।
Disha Salyan's father has categorically made a mention of the fact that he was being pressurized.
त्या वेळेला त्यांना पोलीस यंत्रणा पण मदत करत नव्हती।
The police never came for any help.
आरोग्य विभाग मदत करत नव्हतं, डॉक्टर बदली जायचे, पोस्टमॉर्टमच्या वेळेला गेले।
The postmortem that was also conducted,
रेग्युलर नाही,
it wasn't done in a regular manner.
जे काय प्रकार झाले ना तर ते प्रकरण दडपण्यासाठीच झाले आणि म्हणूनच तिच्या वडिलांना आता दबाव कमी झाल्यावर कळल्यावर ते आता कोर्टाची धाव घेतली।
The court will be looking into who exactly was pressurizing.
त्या प्रकरणामध्ये सरकारने सुप्रीम कोर्टाचं एक रुलिंग आहे, जर एखाद्या महिलेवर अत्याचार झाले असतील, खून झाला असेल, तर त्वरित पोलिसांनी एफआयआर दाखल करून अरेस्ट करून चौकशी सुरू करावी.
There was a clear delay in the investigation that was carried out by the Mumbai police after the case that was registered. When did the Mumbai police begin the investigation?
काढायचं बाहेर 4 फटके दिले का सगळं सांगेल कसं झालं ते. वाजे तर या सगळ्याचा करता करूता वाजे आहे. माझ्याकडे बघ ना बाबा, असं नको तिकडे बघू ना, म्हणणे अन्याय केल्यासारखं वाटतोय. तर तेव्हा त्यांच्या वडिलांवर कुटुंबावर दडपण होतं, त्यांना कोणाची मदत नव्हती, आम्ही पण तिथपर्यंत पोहोचलो नाही.
Some people try to exert some pressure on their family and his father.
पत्र इथे अमुकाचा राणे नाव दिसलं काय असतं, मग ते जास्त हेडलाईन वगैरे येतात, त्यामुळे आम्ही जवळ गेलो. आणि त्यामुळे
We were the people who went and approached him when we saw all of this. Because when a Rane name is associated, then suddenly it becomes headlines. That is why also we went.
आले नाहीत. आणि म्हणून मी आता या सरकारला सांगेन,
Which is why I want to request the government today.
पण आतापर्यंत जे एव्हिडन्स आले त्याच्या आधारे एफआयआर दाखल करा, अरेस्ट करा.
All that has happened, all that has happened, all this while, I think now it is important to make an arrest in the case.
आणि आता आम्ही नागपूरची कुठेही हे स्टेटमेंट कोणाचं समर्थन दिली नाही. आता आम्हाला
We have not supported any statements from Nagpur.
कळलं का तुम्हाला कोणाचं समर्थन आणि कसं करतात? हे घाबरू नये.
Please understand, it is not about any support or any fear from anybody.
तरी
We
सुटणार
are not going to back down. We are not going to be afraid.
ही प्रतिक्रिया एक वडील म्हणून दिली आहे, नेता म्हणून नाही. कधी कोण बाप सांगणार माझ्या मुलाचं अशा कृत्य?
Uddhav has been saying this as a father. Which father will say that their son has done something wrong?
ही मर्दानगी नाही.
This is not about
4-5 लोकांनी धरायचं एकाच मुलीला आणि तिच्यावर अत्याचार करायचा. सगळ्यांना
people cornering a girl and committing atrocities on her. This is not manhood.
कोणाचा भूत आला का वरून? आणि ह्याच नाव का घेतात? याचीच गाडी नंबर का असावे?
We should see what has happened within our own house.
अहो जगामध्ये आमच्या मुंबई पोलिसांचं नाव आहे, म्हणून मला आश्चर्य वाटतं.
Mumbai police is known in the entire world for its work. Which is why it is even more concerning. And I am intrigued why they have been held back so far.
सत्य सगळ्यांना माहिती आहे.
Whatever is the truth, everybody already knows.
का नाही त्या पेडणेकर बाईला ताब्यात घेत पोलीस? का नाही? काय सांगायला गेली? कोणाच सांगण्यावरून गेली?
Why did Pednekar go to the police go to Pednekar? Upon whose request did she visit? Why did she meet?
आई वडिलांवर
What did she say? Was there an attempt to exert pressure?
तुम्ही मला घ्यायचं नाही, त्याला जाऊन सांगावं. का घेतो तिला दडपण का द्यायला पाठवायचे तुम्ही?
What was the need of sending her over there? Go and ask him.
उद्या मुंबईत येतील विचार. आता मुख्यमंत्र्यांचा एखादा आदेश मी कसं सांगू? तुम्हीच म्हणाल अतिक्रमण होतं.
Chief Minister's prerogative. How can I answer on this?
छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांचा अपमान जो आहे तो कोरटकर यांनी केला होता. कोरटकर जो आहे तो पोलिसांना अजून सापडलेला नाही. दुबईमध्ये जो आहे तो गेला अशी माहिती मिळते आणि विरोधक आता असं म्हणतात की सरकारच्या सांगण्यावरून किंवा सरकारने मदत केली म्हणून तो दुबईला पळून गेला, त्याला मदत सरकार करते.
देखो पहा तुम्ही, छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराजांना हा महाराष्ट्र दैवत मानतो.
Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj is like a god to us in Maharashtra. And if anybody speaks ill of him, then we cannot tolerate it, and nobody can save that person.
तरी त्यांनी जे बोललाय त्याबद्दल
a person who has disrespected Shivaji Maharaj, no matter wherever they run away,
आणि या
there will surely be action against him. In Maharashtra, if you can say things against Shivaji Maharaj, then you will not be allowed
आता
to roam
एक
around.
इकडे येता इकडे आता
मी जर चुकत नसेल तर या SITनी किंवा या तपास अधिकाऱ्यांनी तुम्हाला वैयक्तिकरित्या तपासासाठी मदत मागितली होती किंवा काही समन्स दिले होते अशी काही माहिती आहे का? आणि
काही संबंध मला कधी विचारलंच नाही. पोलीस येणार कसे हो? त्याला माहिती आहे मी वास्तव आहे ते ठेवणार समोर. पोलिसांना ते नको होतं वास्तव.
They know the police was defending them even if they were kept in front of them. The police officers also.
आता हे आरोपी अगदी मंत्री होतात, अमुक होतात, फिरतात सगळं. ते पोलिसांना दिसत नाही.
Nobody is seeing that there was a minister or whatever.
पण
They were not able to arrest them.
वाक्य बोलल्यावर पोलीस कुठे?
But if Narayan Rane spoke a single word, then he was sent away.
काय तुमचा महाड काय? आणि तिथे आले. मी जेवत असताना सर आपको अरेस्ट करना है. मैं लोग किस लिए? आप ऐसे का? तो क्या क्राइम कैसे होता है बताइए. माझं वाक्य होतं की मी त्यावेळेला तिथे असतो तर कानफडत मारलं असतो तर ना तो.
Well, a big charge that has now been leveled by BJP senior leader Narayan Rane, who says that he received a call from Uddhav Thackeray. In fact, two calls were made. First call came in immediately after Disha Salyan's mysterious death, where Narayan Rane was asked not to take the name of Aditya Thackeray. In fact, a second call was made during the pandemic. These are some serious charges that have been leveled by former Union Minister Narayan Rane. Delhi PWD Minister Parvesh Varma said that he ordered the transfer of an official who seemed drunk during the inspection of the Srinagar Assembly constituency. During the inspection of the Srinagar Assembly constituency, Varma directed the officials to use the required number of cleaning machines to clean all sewer lines before the monsoon.
सारे ढक्कन को चेंज करने के लिए बोला है, सारी गलियों को दोबारा बनाने के लिए बोला है. और एक अधिकारी आज भी हमने देखा कि थोड़ा सा रात को हो सकता है ड्रिंक करते होंगे, तो उनके मुंह से स्मेल आ रही थी. मैंने उनको ट्रांसफ़र करने के लिए बोला है. हम यही अधिकारियों से काम कराना चाहते हैं. मेरे को अच्छा नहीं लगता कि अधिकारियों के ऊपर में कोई भी कार्रवाई हो, मगर अधिकारी काम करने की आदत डाल लें तो अच्छा रहेगा.
14 people got injured in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch after their minibus met with an accident. Soon after the incident, they were rushed to the district hospital in Poonch for treatment. Fire broke out at a footwear showroom in Delhi's Shaheen Bagh market. 8 fire tenders have been rushed to the spot as police continues to determine the reason behind the fire. Firefighting operations remain underway. Colonel Pushpinder Singh was allegedly assaulted by Punjab police personnel in Patiala. Wife of Colonel Pushpinder Singh informed that she has lodged an FIR against the matter and will fight for justice without any support.
जी कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी नहीं, संस्था प्रांति लोड़ नहीं. मेरे नाल सारी दुनिया खड़ी है. मैं कल्ली खड़ी होके लड़ूंगी. हर एक बंदे दे नाल जाऊंगी, उन्होंने इंसाफ दिलाऊंगी और ताड़ा मीडिया का धन्यवाद करूंगी जदों तुसी आके फिर मेरे नाल खड़े हो गए, क्योंकि असी सारे एक पंजाब दे नागरिक हां, जेड़े नागरिकां नू सानू एक जस्टिस दिवाना जरूरी है.
In a big win against illegal Bangladeshi, South Delhi police took out an operation and busted 8 Indian facilitators who helped them. Police busted the entire racket of Indians who were facilitating the illegal Bangladeshis. 23 voter cards, 19 PAN cards as well as other documents were seized in the major operation.
दिल्ली पुलिस को एक बड़ी कामयाबी मिली है,
जिसमें हमने जो इलीगल बांग्लादेशियों के खिलाफ मुहिम छेड़ी हुई थी, उसमें आगे हमने जो इंडियन फैसिलिटेटर्स हैं जिन्होंने उनकी मदद करी आने में, यहाँ पे रुकने में, नौकरी करने में, उनके डॉक्यूमेंट्स बनाने में, उनको पैसे वापस भिजवाने में, इन सबको हमने बस्ट किया है। इसमें हमने टोटल 8 इंडियंस अरेस्ट करे हैं।
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said 2 memorandums of understanding worth 700 crore rupees have been signed to establish the Mitra Park at Lucknow-Hardoi border. The 2 MOUs worth 700 crore rupees will follow the Prime Minister's vision: farm to fiber, fiber to factory, factory to fashion, and fashion to foreign. The controversy surrounding Justice Yashwant Varma has sparked a wave of questions and concerns, with former Attorney General of India and senior lawyer Mukul Rohatgi stepping forward to demand clarity. Rohatgi urged the Supreme Court to issue a proper bulletin to address the growing uncertainty and speculation surrounding the matter. Now, according to him, the lack of transparency has left critical questions unanswered, fueling public doubt. Aam Aadmi Party staged a protest against the BJP-led Delhi government over the alleged non-implementation of the Mahila Samman Yojana, which aims to provide financial support of 2,500 rupees every month to eligible women. Aam Aadmi Party alleged that even the registration process for the scheme has not started as yet and called BJP's promise a jumla. Union Minister and BJP President JP Nadda launched the Mahila Samidhi Yojana, a direct cash transfer scheme for Delhi's women on 8th of March.
प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने चुनाव से पहले दिल्ली की महिलाओं को वादा किया था कि 8 मार्च को उनके खाते में 2,500 रुपए आएंगे, लेकिन हम आज देख सकते हैं कि उनके खाते में 2,500 रुपए नहीं आए। तो ये जुमला था, इसलिए मोदी जी के जुमले के बैंक का ही वादा हुआ था, वरना 8 मार्च आई, 8 मार्च गई। 2,500 रुपए तो छोड़िए, अभी तक स्कीम का रजिस्ट्रेशन भी शुरू नहीं हुआ।
BJP stages a black flag protest in Chennai against Stalin's meet, calls it a drama.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
I'm thrilled to announce that at my direction, the United States Air Force is moving forward with the world's first 6th generation fighter jet. Number 6, 6th generation. Nothing in the world comes even close to it. And it'll be known as the F-47. I'm thrilled to announce that at my direction, the United States Air Force is moving forward with the world's first 6th generation fighter jet. Number 6, 6th generation. Nothing in the world comes even close to it. And it'll be known as the F-47. The generals picked a title. And it's a beautiful number, F-47. It's something the likes of which nobody has seen before in terms of all of the attributes of a fighter jet. There's never been anything even close to it, from speed to maneuverability to what it can have to payload. And this has been in the works for a long period of time. After a rigorous and thorough competition between some of America's top aerospace companies, the Air Force is going to be awarding the contract for the next generation air dominance platform to Boeing. As you know, was highly competed for. There was a lot of competition, generals, and it's been going on for a long time. Very, very tough competition, but this plane is produced numbers that nobody's ever seen before. The F-47 will be the most advanced, most capable, most lethal aircraft ever built. An experimental version of the plane has secretly been flying for almost 5 years, and we're confident that it massively overpowers the capabilities of the...
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us on Icons and Empires, the World of Brands. And today I'm joined by Sonal Gariba, the Executive Director of Ravin and the Chairperson of IMA. Thank you, Sonal, for joining us on the show. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Always a pleasure, really, to interact with you. And just to start off with a context setting, really, just help us understand what Ravin is all about and the journey, really, because it's all interesting and we're all interested to know about it.
So this is my pet subject, my company, and Ravin is basically into the electrical space and power space. So we've been in this space for the last 73 years plus, and we are primarily into the manufacture of power cables from up to 220 kV. We are also into EHV projects, that is design to laying to execution of power projects. And apart from that, we are also into power products that are good for transformers. That means these are installed on the transformers that help to increase the life of the transformers. And of course, not to forget the sustainable space. So we are into the solar space as well, where we manufacture tracking systems for generation of more power from the sun.
Right.
So and also we undertake turnkey solutions for solar projects as well.
That sounds great, because I think everyone's talking about the sustainability angle. And really, I just want to touch upon, the Indian government also is giving a tremendous boost to the infrastructural sector. And there's a lot of emphasis on the Atmanirbhar Bharat as well. And with Ravin really operating in the infrastructure space as well, how is the company really keeping pace with the rising demand?
So I've been associated with this industry for last 20 years, and frankly, I haven't seen such a phenomenal growth in this industry that we are seeing today. And the government policies, the government growth vision for India and manufacture in India for India has really given the boost to this electrical sector. And we're overbooked. This is what I can say, and this goes for the entire industry. I don't think anybody in the industry is crying today, for that matter. And the kind of projects that are coming up, it's not just basic real estate projects or such projects, but we are really talking hardcore development in terms of metros, in terms of coastal roadways, in terms of data centers, and the likes of it, and even defense for that matter. So yes, housing is one core area, but apart from that, in the real, core electricity sector as well, all of these fields have given a real push to the electrical market that we are in. And I'm happy to say that we've been associated with most of these projects, whether it's the coastal or the metro or the airports that are coming out. And I'm proud to say that Ravin has been a part of the growth journey in and along with the government's vision of Viksit Bharat.
Absolutely, as you spoke about Viksit Bharat, Ravin has also been a pioneer of sorts, because it chose to go global at a time when most domestic players, your peers, your competitors, they were not probably that keen or did not have the vision possibly to take a Indian company and make it successful in the global, at a global level, especially when you're operating in an electrical segment, which was not something that the Western powers or any other companies really looked very favorable, in a very favorable manner. So how did that really play out? Because today, Ravin is a global player in the segment.
So, very interesting, Ravin, back in those days when I'm talking about the 90s, when India was really not looked upon as a center for electrical products. Right. In fact, people would not definitely buy electrical products from India. And I give full credit to my chairman, Mr. Vijay Karya, who had this vision to take this company global. And we started our exports in the early 2000 when people from the industry mocked. They said, how can you even think about taking an electrical product like a power cable into the international market? Yeah. And that didn't waver him at all. In fact, even strengthened his thought process that we have to get this done, and we have to ensure that Indian products are appreciated and used on the global platform. That was how its journey started back then. From there, we moved to set up our base in the Middle East, where we started an office in the Middle East for catering to the demand of the Middle East market from India. And the journey didn't stop there. We moved further from there and set up our manufacturing unit outside of India in the Middle East in Fujairah. And today I'm proud to say that we're the only company that has gone global, and where both the government as well as the ruler are partners in our company. So a truly global company as such. And if I say that we are exporting to more than 100 countries around the world today. And
that's some fabulous numbers.
Yeah, and some of the marquee projects across the world where we have supplied these cables. So yes, very true and very global that we have gone. But the roots have very much been in India. And now that we have inversed the demand, like India is blooming and growing.
Correct.
We are now using both our bases, India as well as UAE, to cater to the growing demands in the Indian market as well.
I'll get back to on the UAE story a little bit later as well, but I also want to understand, because Ravin, in the space that it operates, is not particularly glamorous, not like your IT or your startups that we're all, harping about or very excited about. It's not operating in that space. So how are you really getting the attention of the consumer or the target audience?
So we're not a very B2C company, we're more into the B2B space, and our target audience would generally be the purchase managers of these electric power companies, as well as nuclear or similar kind of industries, right? I would go back a little bit and say that Ravin believes very strongly in the safety of the products. The kind of products we manufacture are safe, not only safe, but if I have to say a little less modestly, but in our entire lifespan of the 70 years of the company.
That's some legacy, for sure.
Thank you. Yes. And in that 70 years, we've not had one reported cable failure, which speaks very strongly about the product.
Okay.
And that in itself brings the trust in the buyers, in the groups that invest in these cables, and I would call them as our partners, not our buyers or customers. And this partnership with them has helped our journey in the long run. And if you see our logo also, it has 3 elements in it, which is the orange, blue and the green. The orange stands for the safety of the products that we launch, any of the products that we have. Blue is the trust that our partners, stakeholders have in the group. And green is because of the sustainability of not only the company, but the sustainable products that the company brings about. So that's been the base or the pillar of the group, the mantra of the group, and that is an organic or way of how we have kind of marketed the products. In fact, our current campaign, if you look at, is all about this. When you're doing your space, whether it's your office, your factory, or your industry, or your even your homes, we try to look at the aesthetics of it.
Right.
We don't really try and see what's behind it. So the campaign is to bring about an awareness, to get people to think a little bit beyond just aesthetics, but also go back into the fact that what is it that is going to really keep you safe in your homes, right? So what is the cables that you're using in your homes? Are they fire safe cables? Are they cables that are going to protect you from all of these nuances of fires and other things? They say electricity is a man's best friend. But what do we do today in the buildings? The first thing when there's a fire, we just switch off the lifts, the elevators, like you said. And how do you think that people can, older people especially, can climb down all of the stairs without getting stuck into that smoke and fire that is there? So our attempt has always been, whether it is through advertisements, whether it is being through seminars, the one-on-one interactions with our clients, customers, where we have tried to bring this aspect about that it's not only about price, but it's about what you are really investing your money in. Cables is just a 2% of your entire capex, but that 2% is going to keep not only your people, but also your products, assets, everything safe from fires.
That's true.
And the current campaign, like I said, is talking about this and trying to bring about that, in trying to make the people think about that part of the products that they have to buy.
Right. So as we're talking about the campaigns that make consumers think and also maybe enhance their lives in the process by information, how do you think the way we market products and services today has sort of evolved? Because at the end of the day, technology is changing. Everyone's using either AI tools or incorporating campaigns and tailoring them largely to a digital consumer today. Right? So is there like a evolution or a change that you have observed over the last 2 decades or so?
Certainly, the space has changed quite a bit. Yes, AI has come in, but like I say, AI is like a Google. It has all the data in there, but it's going to throw you all the data, but it's a human that's going to bring about that touch, emotional touch to that, and is going to channelize that in a direction which it needs to. So it has eased the life of people to a great extent, but I feel that yet you need to go to the core. You need to go to the the heart of what you really want to say in that product or in the product campaign that you're wanting to launch out. So yes, I say it is a boom, but at the same time, it will not 100% satisfy your requirement to the way that you would want it to.
But I also understand that, technology has sort of democratized the advertising space, because traditionally it was only the bigger companies or who had a lot of or a certain percentage allocated for marketing and advertising. But now you're seeing a lot of the MSMEs, SMEs, and even startups really mushrooming across the country from the corners of the country all over. Now all of them do not really have the budget even today to allocate that much. In that sense, technology is sort of democratized, right? So if somebody were just starting out as a young entrepreneur or is just building their business, what tips would you share in terms of like marketing and advertising to get some impact with like minimum of the expenditure really?
That's your space actually. You should be telling them to do it. But yeah, so there are, while you have the mainstream media where people are putting in a lot of money and it takes up a lot of money. But at the same time, there are many unorganic methods, as well as now you have social media, which is helping in a great way, right? And with a very small budget, you can reach to a much larger and dedicated audience. And I think that's the game changer for people who are coming from the startup space and who are also wanting to, work with a limited budget. They can use all of these mediums which are there, which helps you reach the targeted audience. There are also, apart from that, now you have a lot of these online WhatsApp groups which are there. Then there are dedicated association groups that are also created on the WhatsApp. So I think prima facie, all of these are a more targeted kind of a reach to the audience. There are nuisances, I must say, that go along with it. But it helps you create not a similar kind of impact with a much lesser budget. And I feel people coming from those kind of
smaller towns,
and or just beginners kind. They can start with this route, get the little bit of impetus that they require through advertising, and then as they grow, they can look at bigger media as well. But in fact, if I have to go one step ahead, the people the customers who are now on the bigger platform also are using these social media platforms, and in a way where they can also market their products. So whilst they are there on the big screen, but to reach a target and dedicated audience, they are using these same methods, which we are now propagating for the new companies or the growing up companies to come in.
Right. So just circling back to the infrastructure angle, and as you mentioned that Ravin has been a global leading player in the electrical space particularly, and also with a sustainability push. Now during the lockdown, a lot of companies were struggling to keep their businesses up and thriving, but Ravin was one company which kind of thrived even in that challenging environment. So what kind of stories that you have that you can share with us?
Oh, so many. So the recent one was the COVID, if I have to say. And one of my verticals is into extra high voltage cables. So we've been working for one of the utility where we were bringing in power in Mumbai city during that time. And we brought, that was a 90 kilometer stretch that we did right from up, which was terminated into the RA substation out there. That brought in power into the city. And I think the lockdown was somewhere around 21st or 23rd of March. And we just completed this project on the 19th of March.
Timing.
Yeah, I can say that. And if it was not for this additional power that was brought into the city, Mumbai would definitely have faced dearth of power during lockdown.
We've been saviors, really, for the maximum city in a way. In a limited way or whatever, we've still been very crucial in that way.
So there are many such examples. Back then when there was this the floods which happened back, I think, 2005 or around that time, not 5 or 6. Yeah, 5, 6. So at that time also, we moved around. Floods were right up to here. But and many areas were not having electricity. The electricity was cut down. Our people, including our chairman, they risked their lives. They went out there, reached out to those pockets where there were no electricity for days. And they connected the powers out there in such, in that, where the waterlogged areas, So current is very high, yet they went out there just so as to ensure that electricity would reach to the homes of the people who were stuck in such bad monsoon weather out there. Many such examples. We've done projects in Mumbai, again, if I have to say, is where there is no land. Mumbai has a lot of marshy land. Bring about power on such a marshy land, it was a very difficult challenge, and we were, my team had been able to achieve that thing in such, in the middle of a marshy land, they would come and they had to put up a transformer and get power out there, which was very difficult to do. Somewhere in the middle of the forest they had to do in Ghodbandar forest. So all of those challenges, the team has always taken up with full vigor and energy, and have ensured that they have completed it. And I must say that Reliance at that time had even mentioned these projects at Seagrey Paris, which is one of the biggest platforms out there, for about the feat at which these projects have been done in Mumbai and India.
And since you're talking about Mumbai, the recent partnership with the Mumbai Metro as well with Ravin, you're sort of ensuring the safety and reliability. This is what Ravin is known for, the trust that you've built as a brand with the people across the country as well. So could you tell us a little bit about this partnership?
So Mumbai Metro has been one of the other great infrastructure project that the government has done, and we are happy to have associated, partnered and supplied cables for the entire metro. And apart from that, these are fire-safe cables. These are not just normal cables. They are our special Ignamo series, which has been used in these metros. And also a lot of power cables have gone into it. These special cables have to be laid in a special way as well, right? And I'm happy to say not only have we supplied cables to this, but also our team has supervised this entire project so that the cables could be laid in the right manner. The other fact about this project is the earlier metros or railways that have been done, those cables were imported into the city or the country, I would say. And this is the project where completely all the cables have been manufactured in India and supplied to these projects in India. So truly a made in India project which we have been associated with, yes.
I think I love the way we're sort of coming to the end of this conversation, because we started with the infrastructural push and Atmanirbhar Bharat, and you're just mentioning about Make in India. I think Ravin is truly been or is a brand really that's resonating and aligning so well with the Viksit Bharat that we're all speaking about. And the fact that you've shared your insights on advertising, marketing, and the way you've grown over the last 70 years, I think that's a milestone for the company, and that's something to be celebrated. So thank you so much, Sonal, for this and for your time and your thoughts, Srini.
Thank you very much for having me on your show, and all the best to Republic.
Thank you. More power to you, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It is extremely unfortunate that the action of the Supreme Court of India has come under scrutiny. But that's the reality we must accept. The actions of India's highest court, the Supreme Court of India, and the Supreme Court of India's Collegium have come under national and public scrutiny. Something's wrong. And how could it not come under scrutiny? And why should it not come under scrutiny when the fact is that the Supreme Court has not acted effectively enough till date on a massive cash scam involving a very senior judge. If it is true that 10 or 15 or more crores in cash was found burning in the judge's house,
Delhi PWD Minister Parvesh Varma said that he ordered the transfer of an official who seemed drunk during the inspection of the Srinagar Assembly constituency. Now, during the inspection of the Srinagar Assembly constituency, Varma directed the officials to use the required number of cleaning machines to clean all sewer lines before the monsoon.
सारे ढक्कन को चेंज करने के लिए बोला है, सारी गलियों को दोबारा बनाने के लिए बोला है। और एक अधिकारी आज भी हमने देखा कि थोड़ा सा रात को हो सकता है ड्रिंक करते होंगे, तो उनके मुंह से स्मेल आ रही थी, मैंने उनको ट्रांसफ़र करने के लिए बोला है। हम यही अधिकारियों से काम कराना चाहते हैं। मेरे को अच्छा नहीं लगता कि अधिकारियों के ऊपर में कोई भी कार्रवाई हो, मगर अधिकारी काम करने की आदत डाल लें तो अच्छा रहेगा।
14 people got injured in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch after their minibus met with an accident. Soon after the incident, they were rushed to the district hospital in Poonch for treatment. Fire broke out at a footwear showroom in Delhi's Shaheen Bagh market. 8 fire tenders have been rushed to the spot as police continues to determine the reason behind the fire. Firefighting operations remain underway. Colonel Pushpinder Singh was allegedly assaulted by Punjab police personnel in Patiala. Wife of Colonel Pushpinder Singh informed that she has lodged an FIR against the matter and will fight for justice without any support.
जी कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी नहीं, संस्था प्रांति लोड़ नहीं, मेरे नाल सारी दुनिया खड़ी है। मैं कल्ली खड़ी होके लड़ूंगी, हर एक बंदे दे नाल जाऊंगी, उन्हां नू इंसाफ दिलाऊंगी और ताड़ा मीडिया दा धन्यवाद करूंगी जदों तुसी आके फिर मेरे नाल खड़े होगे, क्योंकि असीं सारे एक पंजाब दे नागरिक हां, जेड़े नागरिकां नू सानू एक जस्टिस दिवाना जरूरी है।
In a big win against illegal Bangladeshi, South Delhi police took out an operation and busted 8 Indian facilitators who helped them. Police busted the entire racket of Indians who were facilitating the illegal Bangladeshis. 23 voter cards, 19 PAN cards as well as other documents were seized in the major operation.
दिल्ली पुलिस को एक बड़ी कामयाबी मिली है, जिसमें हमने जो इलीगल बांग्लादेशियों के खिलाफ मुहिम छेड़ी हुई थी, उसमें आगे हमने जो इंडियन फैसिलिटेटर्स हैं जिन्होंने उनकी मदद करी आने में, यहाँ पे रुकने में, नौकरी करने में, उनके डॉक्यूमेंट्स बनाने में, उनको पैसे वापस भिजवाने में, इन सबको हमने बस्ट किया है। इसमें हमने टोटल 8 इंडियंस अरेस्ट करे हैं।
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said 2 memorandums of understanding worth 700 crore rupees have been signed to establish the Mitra Park at Lucknow-Hardoi border. The 2 MOUs worth 700 crore rupees will follow the Prime Minister's vision: farm to fiber, fiber to factory, factory to fashion, and fashion to foreign. The controversy surrounding Justice Yashwant Varma has sparked a wave of questions and concerns, with former Attorney General of India and senior lawyer Mukul Rohatgi stepping forward to demand clarity. Rohatgi urged the Supreme Court to issue a proper bulletin to address the growing uncertainty and speculation surrounding the matter. Now, according to him, the lack of transparency has left critical questions unanswered, fueling public doubt. Aam Aadmi Party staged a protest against the BJP-led Delhi government over the alleged non-implementation of the Mahila Samman Yojana, which aims to provide financial support of 2,500 rupees every month to eligible women. Aam Aadmi Party alleged that even the registration process for the scheme has not started as yet and called BJP's promise a jumla. Union Minister and BJP President JP Nadda launched the Mahila Samidhi Yojana, a direct cash transfer scheme for Delhi's women, on 8th of March.
प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने चुनाव से पहले दिल्ली की महिलाओं को वादा किया था कि 8 मार्च को उनके खाते में 2,500 रुपए आएंगे, लेकिन हम आप देख सकते हैं कि उनके खाते में 2,500 रुपए नहीं आए। तो ये जुमला था, इसलिए मोदी जी के जुमले के बैंक का ही वादा हुआ था, वरना 8 मार्च आई, 8 मार्च गई। 2,500 रुपए तो छोड़िए, अभी तक स्कीम का रजिस्ट्रेशन भी शुरू नहीं हुआ।
It is extremely unfortunate that the action of the Supreme Court of India has come under scrutiny. But that's the reality we must accept. The actions of India's highest court, the Supreme Court of India and the Supreme Court of India's Collegium, have come under national and public scrutiny. Something's wrong. And how could it not? Did the CJI make a mistake? Did the Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna, make a mistake in the way he handled this?
Collegium made a mistake. Oh, absolutely. It's wrong on so many levels. As I'm saying, this decision is wrong on so many levels. It's a mistake for the way it has been approached. It's a mistake to transfer a judge merely on allegations like this. Judicial work has to be withdrawn. And finally, it's a mistake to cast this aspersion on Allahabad High Court. Arnab, when you talk of opacity, the system is such it has to be kept opaque. And that's why the system is so wrong.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
BJP's Narayan Rane levels big charge against Uddhav Thackeray, says Uddhav had called him and asked Rane to not involve Aditya in the Disha Salyan case.
दंगइयों ने किया है, इसका पूरा हिसाब निकाला जाएगा और ये पूरा नुकसान उनसे वसूल किया जाएगा। वो नुकसान के पैसे नहीं भरते हैं तो उनकी प्रॉपर्टी को बेचकर ये नुकसान भरपाई की जाएगी।
Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis in Nagpur for the first time since violent riots and stone pelting says rioters will have to pay for the damage.
Shamelessly, Tamil Nadu CM has invited DK Shivakumarji here for a discussion on a topic which has got no rational basis. So today's black flag protest is against the DMK government and Mr. MK Stalin for sacrificing Tamil Nadu's interest and doing this kind of drama in Chennai.
BJP stages black flag protest in Chennai against Stalin's meet, calls it a drama. Several pro-Kannada groups call Karnataka Bandh and stage protests over an alleged assault of a state road transport corporation bus conductor in Belagavi. BJP workers in Kolkata hold a protest against the Trinamool Congress government over the introduction of bill permitting women to work in bars. Very good evening and thank you for tuning in. You're watching the news at 5. I'm Suesha Samant and it's a big twist in the Disha Salyan case. In the latest, BJP's Narayan Rane, who has levelled a huge allegation against Uddhav Thackeray, saying that it was Uddhav Thackeray who had called him after Disha Salyan's death, asking Narayan Rane to not involve or include Aditya Thackeray's name anywhere.
उनका जो पीए है अभी शायद एमएलए लगता है नार्वेकर, वो गाड़ी में था, उन्हें मेरे को फ़ोन किया, मैं भी घर जा रहा था, तो मुझे उन्होंने पूछा, दादा उद्धव जी आपसे बात करना चाहते हैं, आप करेंगे क्या? बोले कहाँ है? तो वो बगल में गाड़ी चला, बोले दे फ़ोन। तो बोलते मुझे आपको कहना है कि आपको भी लड़के हैं, मेरे को भी लड़के हैं, जरा आप जो प्रेस में जो बोलते हैं वो उल्लेख मत कीजिए, इसका मतलब उसका बेटे का नाम नहीं लीजिए। मैं बोला मैं एक मंत्री बोला, किसका नाम नहीं लिया हूँ। मैं बोला एक मंत्री उस वक्त था, वो घटना जो हुई है सुशांत की और सालियन की, उसमें एक मंत्री था और उसका एविडेंस है, कई लोगों ने देखा है, उसको तो हाफ पैंट में देखा उनके बेटे को। तो अभी दूसरे के घर में पार्टी में हाफ पैंट कौन डाल के जाता है? 2 बार यही बात हो गई। मैं बोला आपके बेटे को संभालो, कहाँ शाम के टाइम जाता है 6 बजे के बाद, जरा संभालो ना, बस।
Cutting across to Shravan, joining us from the newsroom. Shravan, if this statement is true, and this is exactly at the time when Disha Salyan's case had been reported, there is certainly some foul play as far as the investigation is concerned and how they've been trying to shield Aditya Thackeray.
Well, in fact, it's a relentless attack from the Ranes. Narayan Rane, the former union minister, has now levelled a direct charge at Uddhav Thackeray. Earlier, you've had Narayan Rane's son, who is a minister in the Maharashtra government right now, levelling a charge against Aditya Thackeray. Now, this all is after a petition that has been filed by Disha Salyan's father, in which he's demanding custodial interrogation of Aditya Thackeray. This is based on certain evidence that they have gathered so far, and they claim that they are going to make a disclosure only in the court as far as the evidence is concerned. Now, as far as the Rane is upping the game here, you have Narayan Rane levelling a charge that he had allegedly received a call from Uddhav Thackeray, and that call came in after Disha Salyan's mysterious death. This was also the time when Narayan Rane had levelled a direct charge saying that a top politician is involved in the mysterious death of Disha Salyan. Now, this was a press conference that Narayan Rane had done earlier when he had not taken Aditya Thackeray's name, but it turned out that at that point in time, he had certainly teased, saying that there is a top politician involved. Now he says that after that particular press conference, Uddhav Thackeray made a call, and this call was connected by Uddhav Thackeray's personal assistant Milind Narvekar. And in that particular call, Uddhav Thackeray apparently told Narayan Rane not to take anyone's name, and particularly his son. Now it also turns out that Narayan Rane has levelled another big charge. This is with regards to the doctor who had carried out the post-mortem, who we are being told had already been changed. Now this is again a claim that has been made by Narayan Rane. Perhaps we can also pull out that soundbite of Narayan Rane, particularly talking about the doctor involved in the post-mortem, because remember there are several unanswered questions here, Suesha, particularly with regards to how the post-mortem was conducted, because you have the family members here saying that when they received the body, the mortal remains of Disha Salyan, they did not find any injury marks. Then there was also a question about how the body was actually found. All that put together, it turns out that there are certain concerns as to how things are essentially developing.
Continue talking to us, Shravan, as we'll try and play out that soundbite shortly. But in terms of how the story is developing very fast, the Uddhav camp has been on the defensive. They say that it is the BJP that is aiming against them, and which is why the case has been raked up after 5 years. But even in that exclusive interview that Satish Salyan gave to Arnab Goswami, where he said that the truth will be out in less than 2 weeks, there is proof.
Well, in fact, Suesha, let's just once again play out Narayan Rane's soundbite that has come in, because that's extremely crucial. And perhaps while we are doing that, we'll also try and get you the second soundbite of Narayan Rane, where he's specifically talking about the doctor who has actually been changed. So these are some very big charges that have been levelled by Narayan Rane. A big development in the Disha Salyan case now, with the former Union Minister stepping in. Listen to what Narayan Rane had to say.
उनका जो पीए है अभी शायद एमएलए लगता है, नार्वेकर, वो गाड़ी में था। उन्हें मेरे को फ़ोन किया, मैं भी घर जा रहा था, तो मुझे उन्होंने पूछा, दादा उद्धव जी आपसे बात करना चाहते हैं, आप करेंगे क्या? बोले कहाँ है? तो वो बगल में गाड़ी चला। बोले दे दे फ़ोन। तो बोलते मुझे आपको कहना है कि आपको भी लड़के हैं, मेरे को भी लड़के हैं, जरा आप जो प्रेस में जो बोलते हैं वो उल्लेख मत कीजिए, इसका मतलब उसका बेटे का नाम नहीं लीजिए। मैं बोला मैं एक मंत्री बोला, किसका नाम नहीं लिया हूँ। मैं बोला एक मंत्री उस वक्त था, वो घटना जो हुई है सुशांत की और सालियन की, उसमें एक मंत्री था और उसका एविडेंस है, कई लोगों ने देखा है उसको, तो हाफ पैंट में देखा उनके बेटे को। तो अभी दूसरे के घर में पार्टी में हाफ पैंट कौन डाल के जाता है? 2 बार यही बात हो गई। मैं बोला आपके बेटे को संभालो, कहाँ शाम के टाइम जाता है 6 बजे के बाद, जरा संभालो ना, बस।
And you heard that explosive statement coming in from Narayan Rane of the BJP. He's levelled a huge allegation against Uddhav Thackeray and Aditya Thackeray. That statement where he clearly mentioned that it is not just Aditya Thackeray, but even his father, who had allegedly tried to shield his son, and calls were made to all the top politicians to ensure the same. I want to come back to you, Shravan, because this is a huge twist in the Disha Salyan case.
Well, in fact, now you have the former Union Minister Narayan Rane stepping in, levelling a charge, and this is a direct charge against Uddhav Thackeray, where he says that after Disha Salyan's case, he received a call. This call was connected by Uddhav Thackeray's personal assistant Milind Narvekar, where Rane claims that Uddhav Thackeray said not to take certain names, perhaps also indicating that his son should not be his son should not be named, simply saying that, look here, you have a son, I have a son too. Do not make these names. Do not take these names. Now, these are direct threats, perhaps indirect threats that were being given to a former union minister from a sitting chief minister at that point in time. Uddhav Thackeray, remember, was the chief minister when this incident took place. And here the charge is against his son Aditya Thackeray. Narayan Rane essentially claiming that there was pressure that was being put. The pressure was basically put on Disha Salyan's family members. Perhaps we can also play out the full soundbite right now, because here you have Disha Salyan's father's name also being taken by Narayan Rane, saying that Kishori Pednekar, the former Mumbai mayor, had allegedly put pressure on Disha Salyan's father, and that is the reason why he could never speak to the media. In fact, in a short while from now, Disha Salyan's lawyer Nilesh Ojha is also going to join us. Let's once again play out that soundbite of Narayan Rane. This is the big development now taking place in the Disha Salyan case, while there are also reactions now coming in. Let's also take you through more details that are now emerging.
उनका जो पीए है अभी शायद एमएलए लगता है, नार्वेकर, वो गाड़ी में था। उन्हें मेरे को फ़ोन किया, मैं भी घर जा रहा था, तो मुझे उन्होंने पूछा, दादा उद्धव जी आपसे बात करना चाहते हैं, आप करेंगे क्या? बोले कहाँ है? तो वो बगल में गाड़ी चला। बोले दे दे फ़ोन। तो बोलते मुझे एक आपको कहना है कि आपको भी लड़के हैं, मेरे को भी लड़के हैं, जरा आप जो प्रेस में जो बोलते हैं वो उल्लेख मत कीजिए, इसका मतलब उसका बेटे का नाम नहीं लीजिए। मैं बोला, मैं एक मंत्री बोला, किसका नाम नहीं लिया हूँ। मैं बोला एक मंत्री उस वक्त था, वो घटना जो हुई है सुशांत की और सालियन की, उसमें एक मंत्री था और उसका एविडेंस है, कई लोगों ने देखा है उसको, तो हाफ पैंट में देखा उनके बेटे को। तो अभी दूसरे के घर में पार्टी में हाफ पैंट कौन डाल के जाता है? 2 बार यही बात हो गई। मैं बोला आपके बेटे को संभालो, कहाँ शाम के टाइम जाता है 6 बजे के बाद, जरा संभालो ना, बस।
Shravan, I want to come back to you because these are incriminating details, and how they will hold in the court of law is extremely important, especially if you focus on those particular words where he says that there is evidence of a politician's involvement, of a politician who was seen in an informal attire, shorts to be precise, as he said, and many people have seen him and there is evidence. How can this count?
Well, in fact, in a short while from now, Suesha, when Disha Salyan's father, lawyer, who's likely to join us on this broadcast, perhaps may be able to weigh in on this entire matter, because in the petition that has been filed, they are basically demanding the custodial interrogation of Aditya Thackeray. Now, the revelation that has been made by Narayan Rane of a call that came in from Uddhav Thackeray. We are not talking about the father of Aditya Thackeray, but we are talking about a sitting chief minister, that is Uddhav Thackeray. Uddhav Thackeray at that time was the chief minister. That call that went in from the chief minister to a former union minister, at that point in time Narayan Rane was a union minister. This call came in and this was some sort of an indirect threat. The fact that you are asking a union minister not to take any names in a press conference that was being done is something that requires a thorough investigation as to why exactly would the sitting chief minister prevent a union minister from presenting before the public what would have been seen as incriminating evidence, because at that point in time the post-mortem report basically indicated something else completely different. And now Narayan Rane goes on to make another big charge, and the charge being that the doctor who conducted the post-mortem was also changed. If that is the case, who exactly gave the orders for the doctor to be changed, and whether at all at that point in time the Mahavikas Aghadi did have actually a role in making these changes. And that is the reason why there is now a demand that is growing, and this demand is now coming in from the former union minister, his son Nitesh Rane, who is a sitting minister. They are demanding that an FIR should be registered, and those who are culpable, they should basically be behind bars.
Oh yes, absolutely, Shravan. And not having one-on-one together, but fact also remains that if a call of this nature could go to an opposing political rival, then one can only imagine how the system may have colluded on the instructions of a sitting chief minister. And we are not saying that, but fact remains that this particular statement by Narayan Rane really gives a whole new turn as far as foul play in that investigation is concerned, and what the truth could be.
Well, I'm told that BJP senior leader Mr. Ashish Shelar is joining us on this broadcast. If we can also have him on the screen right now. Mr. Shelar, thank you very much for speaking to Republic TV. Former Union Minister Narayan Rane is now levelling a direct charge against Uddhav Thackeray. The matter has become extremely serious. A sitting chief minister trying to threaten a former union minister, asking him not to take any names. We seem to have lost that call with Ashish Shelar. We'll try and reconnect with him. Meanwhile, we're also trying, there are a lot of responses actually, Suesha, coming in. You've had the BJP there taking up this entire matter in the House. The assembly was basically underway in the last few days, and you've had BJP legislator Amit Satam, who has taken up the matter in the House, demanding that an FIR should be registered, and the SIT, which has already been formed by the current government, should basically look into the evidence that is being spoken about by Disha Salyan's father, Satish Salyan. We'll try and see if Nilesh Ojha has actually joined us or not, because we were told that he would be joining us in a short while from now on this recent development, because this is undoubtedly one of the biggest developments taking place this Saturday in the Disha Salyan case, which we have been reporting relentlessly. Let's once again play out that soundbite of Union Minister, former Union Minister Narayan Rane, who spoke about the call that he received.
उनका जो पीए है अभी शायद एमएलए लगता है, नार्वेकर, वो गाड़ी में था। उन्हें मेरे को फ़ोन किया, मैं भी घर जा रहा था, तो मुझे उन्होंने पूछा, दादा उद्धव जी आपसे बात करना चाहते हैं, आप करेंगे क्या? बोले कहाँ है? तो वो बगल में गाड़ी चला। बोले दे फ़ोन। तो बोलते मुझे आपको कहना है कि आपको भी लड़के हैं, मेरे को भी लड़के हैं, जरा आप जो प्रेस में जो बोलते हैं वो उल्लेख मत कीजिए, इसका मतलब उसका बेटे का नाम नहीं लीजिए। मैं बोला, मैं एक मंत्री बोला, किसका नाम नहीं लिया हूँ। मैं बोला एक मंत्री उस वक्त था, वो घटना जो हुई है सुशांत की और सालियन की, उसमें एक मंत्री था और उसका एविडेंस है, कई लोगों ने देखा है उसको, तो हाफ पैंट में देखा उनके बेटे को। तो अभी दूसरे के घर में पार्टी में हाफ पैंट कौन डाल के जाता है? 2 बार यही बात हो गई। मैं बोला आपके बेटे को संभालो, कहाँ शाम के टाइम जाता है 6 बजे के बाद, जरा संभालो ना, बस।
Shravan, I want to thank you for getting us those details, and of course we try and get more voices from the BJP and what Disha Salyan's lawyer in this case has to say. But for the moment we cut across to more breaking news coming in from West Bengal. Yes, BJP staging a protest against West Bengal government's bill proposing an amendment to the West Bengal Excise Act 1909 that allows women to work in liquor shops. BJP gherawed the state excise office opposing this very move of the West Bengal state government. You see the kind of dramatic pictures that we witness on our screens right now of an all-out face-off between the BJP women protesters and the cops, where the cops went on to exert force on these BJP women workers that turned rather violent. BJP once again raising their voice against this new move that has been allowed by the West Bengal state government. We'll try and have my colleague join us from the Bangla newsroom to take us through further details of how this protest unfolded. But there you see of a massive face-off between BJP women workers, protesters on the ground raising their voice against the Mamata government, heavy barricading that was put in place where these women protesters tried to cross those barricades, but heavy police deployment that led to this face-off. I want to cut across to Bhaskar, who's with us on the broadcast to take us through details of what the BJP demands, how the Mamata government is reacting, and this particular face-off that unfolded on the ground today.
बिल्कुल देखिए ममता बनर्जी के पुलिस और भाजपा के जो लीडरशिप है, स्पेशली महिला मोर्चा के जो लीडर्स पे इन लोगों के बीच अभी झड़प चल रहा है। एक प्रोटेस्ट की कॉल दिया गया था बीजेपी के महिला मोर्चा की तरफ से, जहाँ पे बीजेपी के पश्चिम बंगाल की प्रेसिडेंट सुकांत मजुमदार जी भी है, जो महिलाओं के सिक्योरिटी और सेफ्टी वो इंश्योर करने की मांग में, और जिस तरह से ममता बनर्जी की सरकार महिलाओं को बार या नाइट क्लब में नौकरी करने के लिए बता रहे हैं, उसके खिलाफ ये जो धरना, ये जो प्रोटेस्ट है वो प्रोटेस्ट था। और जब ये प्रोटेस्ट शुरू हुआ, बस से भी कुछ देर जाने के बाद पुलिस की तरफ से काफी सारे बैरिकेड किया गया, और इस वक्त पुलिस के तरफ से ये प्रोटेस्ट को रोकने का एक कोशिश भी किया गया। और जिस तरह से हम लोग दिखा रहे हैं कि पश्चिम बंगाल के कलकत्ता के अंदर बंगाल पुलिस और भाजपा के तरफ से जो प्रोटेस्ट चल रहा था, उसमें कलकत्ता पुलिस वो रोकने की कोशिश किया। और अभी सुकांत मजुमदार जो कि बंगाल की भाजपा के प्रेसिडेंट है, वो अभी अपना बात रख रहे हैं, और आगे भी महिला मोर्चा और भाजपा इस सरकार के खिलाफ प्रोटेस्ट करते रहेगी, ऐसे कहना है भाजपा के सीनियर लीडर्स का। स्वेशा।
All right, Bhaskar, many thanks for getting us those details. We keep coming back to you for further updates. Moving on, as we get you details of a shocking case of alleged police brutality in Patiala that has sparked widespread outrage. Jaswinder Kaur Bath, wife of Colonel Pushpinder Singh Bath, claims her husband was assaulted by the Punjab police personnel despite multiple attempts to seek justice. She says key police officers are being protected. Getting you all the details as more on the fight for accountability continues.
Jaswinder Kaur Bath, the wife of Colonel Pushpinder Singh Bath, who was allegedly assaulted by Punjab police personnel in Patiala, has spoken out about her efforts to seek justice. She detailed her visit to meet the DGP Gaurav Yadav, where she waited for an hour and a half, but he left without meeting them. Despite his position as an army officer's son, he did not engage with her. Jaswinder expressed her frustration, especially after her son stated that he no longer wanted to stay in the country.
Bhagwan Manji, who's CM, we had made call to him at night. We reported the matter to his sister also. I tried to call, nobody picked. His OSD, Tilosab, sent all the photos, everything, but nobody approached us till today.
Seeking justice, she then went to meet the governor, who was visibly moved by the brutality. The governor, after seeing pictures and hearing her account, immediately called the DGP and demanded the registration of an FIR with all the relevant names.
We went to Governor Saab, we gave the whole story. You'll not believe Governor Saab had tears in his eyes when I was speaking to him. उनकी आँख में आंसू आ गए जब मैंने उनको फोटोज दिखाई कि इस तरीके से ब्रूटली मारा गया.
Following this, SSP Nanak Singh confirmed the formation of magisterial inquiry into the incident, but stated that the FIR could not be altered. She also revealed an unsettling conversation with the police inspector, who told her that certain police personnel involved in the assault could not be named in the FIR due to their recognition as encounter specialist by the DIG and their imminent promotions.
Time now for a short commercial break. On the other side, Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis in Nagpur for the first time since violent riots and stone pelting says rioters will have to pay for the damage.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
There is a precedent which could have been followed. If you remember, there used to be a judge called Justice Ramaswamy, against whom, in the Supreme Court, and against whom allegations were made that in his previous avatar, when he was Chief Justice of the Punjab and Haryana High Court, he had broken certain rules in ordering furnishing, etc., for his official home at the taxpayer's cost. There was no allegation that he had taken cash from somebody. The allegation was he had broken all the rules of the book and gone beyond what is permissible in decorating his official home. Chief Justice Mukherjee, God bless his soul, one of the finest repositories of judicial virtue, came into open court, not closed court, open court with a long written speech saying what he had heard, and closed by saying he is withdrawing all judicial work from Justice Ramaswamy till an inquiry is complete, and he set up an inquiry committee of 3 judges. To inquire into the allegations. They found against Justice Ramaswamy. The matter was then taken by way of an impeachment motion in Parliament. The rest, what followed, only established why Parliament cannot be trusted with
Hello and welcome to Institute of Directors' yet another conference on corporate social responsibility. The 19th edition of the International Conference on Corporate Social Responsibility was held on the 6th and 7th of February 2025 at India's financial capital, Taj Lands End in Mumbai. The theme for this year's conference was the board's role in shaping the future of CSR. The conference saw the participation of over 500 distinguished delegates over the course of 2 days, including eminent industry leaders, CSR professionals, government representatives, academics, civil society members, and diverse stakeholder groups. This event upheld its long-standing tradition of attracting a significant and varied assembly of participants from a wide spectrum of professional and social backgrounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, we begin all official ceremonies in our beautiful country with the lighting of the lamp ceremony.
Commencing the proceeding for the day, the conference started off with the welcome address of the chairman of the Western Region Institute of Directors, Mr. Sitaram Kunte, IAS retired, followed by insightful remarks by the president of the Institute of Directors, Lieutenant General Surinder Nath, PVSM, AVSM retired.
Today we gather in the vibrant and dynamic city of Mumbai, which is also India's financial and business hub, for the 19th International Conference on Corporate Social Responsibility. This conference is organized by the Institute of Directors. I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude towards everyone who have sincerely contributed to make this event a success.
Corporate social responsibility has evolved from being a voluntary goodwill gesture to a strategic imperative in India, driven by a combination of legislative mandates, stakeholder expectations, and the rising aspirations of a socially aware population.
After the highly anticipated welcome, Mr. Ajay Tyagi, IAS retired, former chairman of SEBI, delivered the keynote address, which was followed by illuminating insights by the co-chairman of the Institute of Directors, Honorable Justice Uday U. Lalit, former Chief Justice of India.
I am happy to be here to participate in this conference on a topical subject and a relevant subject. And I congratulate IOD to organize this conference on this subject. I stand here as part of the family of IOD. And naturally, all of you are quite aware of the width, amplitude of CSR, what wonders it can do to the upliftment of the society, what kind of windows of opportunities can it open.
Upon the arrival of the chief guest of the conference, His Excellency Shri C.P. Radhakrishnan, Honorable Governor of Maharashtra, the gathering was imbued with an air of gravitas and prestige as he graced us with his distinguished presence and profound insights.
Today, we all are gathered here. The social responsibility of the corporates. This is a new law that has been created in 2013. From that onwards, the contribution of the corporates for the social responsibility is ever increasing. But the social responsibility is not only on corporates. We must realize this is reminding the social responsibility of everyone.
After the highly anticipated address by the Honorable Governor of Maharashtra, the vote of thanks was delivered by Mr. Ashok Kapoor, IAS retired, Director General, Institute of Directors.
On behalf of IOD India, I hereby convey our thanks and gratitude to all of you for being with us today and tomorrow for IOD's 19th International Conference on CSR on the theme, the board's role in shaping the future of CSR. IOD studies and research show over the last few years that besides being a legal compliance issue, CSR has evolved as a very gainful concept for a company's improved market reputation and brand management.
The opening session also marked the occasion for the release of the conference souvenir by the chief guest and the esteemed dignitaries. Following an invigorating inaugural session, the Institute of Directors upheld its distinguished legacy, an exemplary tradition of convening eminent and visionary leaders, esteemed intellectuals, and renowned experts alongside policymakers spanning government, business, and civil society. The conference fostered deep deliberations and intellectually stimulating exchanges on pivotal themes central to corporate social responsibility, with a particular focus on the board's strategic role in shaping the future. Discussions underscored the imperative for boards to lead with vision and accountability, embedding sustainable practices and fostering long-term value creation. The keynote session commenced with incisive and astute remarks on the evolving role of the board in CSR.
There is a divide to access quality education due to various parameters. It can be physical issues like geographical and infrastructural barriers, thereby not having learning access, the socio-economic profile of the people, then physical and learning disabilities, gender and socio-cultural issues, and the various factors that operate within the schools, and the dearth of qualified teachers and attitudinal issues.
What is it that makes a difference to the CSR? If you look at the Tatas, 2/3 of Tata Sons' profits go into community development. And that was much before the CSR Act was enacted. It has to do with what you think and what you feel and what you desire. And that is another change we have to bring to our own minds to make CSR a really effective tool in the emerging society of tomorrow.
The approach to CSR had been really about harnessing those challenges that we have as a brand, because whenever you think of packaged drinking water, what comes to your mind is water which is being extracted or from the surface or from extraction, and the packaging that is there. We said, let us try and address these challenges and create our approach on CSR around this. And this has been our program, which we call as Bisleri Greener Promise, centered around 3 pieces: water replenishment or conservation, plastic circularity, and promoting community well-being through ozone.
In Pernod Ricard, we are not just believing in terms of compliance, that CSR just in compliance. We believe in giving back to the society. So CSR is a corporate obligation, you say, but now the world is moving towards sustainability and responsibility. That's why in our company, it is not the CSR department. It is a sustainability and the responsibility department.
Educate the younger lot. The elder lot like us who have grown, have become trees, we can't change much. But the younger lot, my experience, whether it's environment or whether it's water or any of the good habits, at the school level, if you are able to bring in that kind of culture change, they listen and ensure they're very responsible, sir. A very good insight, particularly of what's happened in Kenya. We will all work towards making that message within India as well.
The day's proceedings witnessed highly stimulating discussions marked by insightful exchanges and thought-provoking perspectives.
If you see the sustainability development goals, the 17 goals, they are more or less in terms of the same alignment in terms of the Schedule 7 of the Companies Act, which lists out the activities as provided for in the section 135 from where the CSR emerges.
There are 3 pillars on which the corporate social responsibility should focus on. And I think the key thing behind all this thing is sustainability. Because as growth and development is happening in this country, and as this country keeps powering itself ahead, and they say that this country will move at a faster rate than what it has moved in the past. And if that happens, then what is the point of having all these things unless we are sustainable and we leave the environment in a better stage than what we found it, we leave our people in a better economic state than what we found it, and we empower and we create opportunities and skills amongst those people who will inherit the world after we are no longer there.
We are working in an era where digital is one of the keywords now, and a lot of frauds, cyber risks are there. So CSR as a lever for creating awareness on such issues is also very, very important.
Embedding CSR into the core business strategy, because I think every company wants to look at their own core strategy and work towards this, because that then helps the company to do everything with more passion.
IIFCL, India Infrastructure Finance Company Limited. We spend 2% of our profit in the CSR. And those CSR projects we support are more have social overtones, but of late we are giving priority to the CSR projects which support climate mitigation and adaptation objectives.
For textile sector, as we view it, we have a whole spectrum in which one side we have low technology but high impact initiative in terms of artisans and our traditional crafts, etc., about 70 lakhs of them. Then we come to the more technology intensive industry, which is our traditional power loom driven or the mills, etc., where we have had earlier also, now also very big corporates who are there, and the newer, rather more functional textiles, technical textiles, which is supposed to be the growth engine for the textile sector.
You see 80 crore Indians are still living on free rice and subsidy. How are we going to bring them up is only through making them into a forced entrepreneur or entrepreneur, and for that you need to create a business model which will generate profit, and through that profit you are going to drive your CSR activity.
You need
an understanding of sustainability management. How will your organization manage the sustainability initiative or the sustainability file? An organization needs to actively assume and exercise responsibility in relation to the environment, society, and economy. And it needs to aim to be a role model in these areas.
Initially, this thing started as the corporate CSR, corporate social responsibility, is that people who are now maybe, people and communities who are getting affected with the modern world, their life can be made better. And therefore, as a voluntary concept, the CSR evolved.
In MMRCL, we are ensuring the benefit are passed on to the society without any discrimination and inclusion for all segments of societies. In operation of Metro Line 3, the substantial women workforce are deployed. As far as this profit versus purpose is concerned, businesses that integrate social purpose into their strategy find that it enhances long-term profitability. Sustainable business practices lead to cost saving, risk mitigation, and improved brand reputation, ultimately fostering customer loyalty and investor confidence.
In the first year, we as GTs started an initiative, we used to call it Marg Darshan, career counseling. So what we were doing in that plant, that all the GTs fresh passed out from IITs and NITs, every Friday, we used to sit with children of the staff that are working in the plant and used to give them career counseling. Sometimes we'll invite some leaders from the plant or from outside as well, sometimes even one-on-one counseling as well.
A special talk was delivered by Mr. Manoj K. Roth, CEO and Secretary General, Institute of Directors, highlighting IOD's remarkable journey over the years and its pivotal role in empowering boardrooms to shape the India of tomorrow.
So, ladies and gentlemen, training is our mantra, networking is our passion, and celebrating success together is our vision. So, networking is your real network in today's digital age.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रूंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रूंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
I'm thrilled to announce that at my direction, the United States Air Force is moving forward with the world's first 6th generation fighter jet. Number 6, 6th generation. Nothing in the world comes even close to it, and it'll be known as the F-47. I'm thrilled to announce that at my direction, the United
As thoughtful deliberations came to an end on day one of the conference, it was followed by the highly anticipated Golden Peacock Awards night, where the leading voices of the industry came together to recognize the achievements of their peers in the field of CSR, global and national, HR excellence, and innovation management. It was indeed a momentous occasion for IOD, as we had the distinct honor of welcoming Mr. Anurag Singh Thakur, Member of the Parliament in Lok Sabha and former Cabinet Minister, Government of India, as the guest of honor. His esteemed presence graced the Golden Peacock Awards ceremony in the evening, adding to its significance.
The corporate social responsibility.
It is not an act of charity. Gentlemen, it is a dharma and it is a sacred duty towards society. This reflects a commitment giving back a portion of what you earn in whatever way, in whatever form, whatever extent possible back to the society.
In a ceremony befitting the prestige of the awards, Mr. Anurag Singh Thakur, alongside former Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice U.U. Lalit, Co-Chairman, Institute of Directors, and Lieutenant General Surinder Nath, PDSM, AVSM retired, President, Institute of Directors, conferred the coveted accolades upon the distinguished recipients, marking a truly illustrious celebration of excellence. Along with the institutional awards, the ceremony also witnessed the conferring of the IOD Distinguished Fellowship Awards of the year 2024 to Mr. Ajay Tyagi, IAS retired, former Chairman, SEBI, and Mr. Puneet Chatwal, Managing Director and CEO, the Indian Hotels Company Limited.
Corporates are important stakeholders in the development of the country. When you say that Viksit Bharat or GDP, Indian GDP becoming third or fourth largest in the world, unless corporates perform, that would be a difficult task. Last year's corporate profits all combined was around 5% of GDP, which was highest in the last 15 years. So they perform a very important role. Corporate governance is something which IOD also is involved. It needs constant upgradation of knowledge and awareness.
It's a nice moment to get a felicitation. I think for me the first time in a Taj. So I think this is very special. At the beginning of the speech, the CEO, Mr. Manoj Raut, mentioned, I don't know how many would recall, TQT, which was trust, quality and transparency. I think what we have as Taj, we define Taj also as trust of all our stakeholders. I think that includes quality and transparency, the word trust.
After a highly stimulating day one, day two of the conference witnessed further engaging discussions.
Corporate social responsibility to me is about people at the front and center of any activity, any initiative that we all are concerned with. It's about the purpose. We talked a lot about the purpose. And linked to purpose and what that purpose is all about, as I said, it's about people, it's about planet, it's about environment.
So if we have to grow, surely we can't grow in isolation. We have to grow taking everybody along and like the theme here says, leaving no one behind. Inclusive growth is very important, and here CSR plays a very important role.
I first of all thank IOD for including this very subject of corporate social responsibility. I think this is a very, very important and meaningful subject. So far as MHADA is concerned, I represent Maharashtra Housing and Area Development Authority, which is pioneer in providing affordable houses in Maharashtra. Across Maharashtra, we are providing affordable houses last almost 5 decades.
This has been happening for the last 20 years, that the businesses are no longer only looked at or judged by their financial performance, but stakeholder activism, shareholders activism, as well as the growing consciousness in the society. The stakeholders are demanding more and more on how, as a business, we impact the environment, impact the society. And then it started on looking at sustainability and ESG. It started almost 20 years back, so almost 10, 11 years back, we had a regulation on CSR by SEBI, mandating certain corporates to invest on CSR or spend on CSR, and made it the responsibility of the board.
ODOP, one district, one product. It is a very unique concept, originated in Uttar Pradesh, and it is a brainchild of our Honorable CM, Yogi Adityanath. So the idea is, as I told, it is the brainchild of our CM, Yogi Adityanath ji. The concept was We all are very familiar with certain products which belongs to certain regions. We have total 75 districts in Uttar Pradesh, and we have identified products for each district. The basic parameter was that product or that product ecosystem should be linked to the district's GDP, should be linked to the district's livelihood, and linked with the district's employment. So to cater to these product ecosystem, we would enhance the livelihood, the employability, and the GDP of the districts. So this is the concept of ODOP.
For last 4-5 years, we've been working with a lot of private sector, government and all. We've kind of created a partnership model where, CSRs and foundations and private sector come together. They've been trying to scale up each other's works.
The day also featured case study presentations from award-winning companies on CSR, HR excellence, and innovation management. As the final session marked the end of the conference, the Institute of Directors concluded yet another resoundingly successful